Hey everyone, welcome to Let's Play Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. I am SquashDog01, and here with me is my good friend
Soulman. Hey guys, what's up?
And we're going to be co-oping the aspect of the game. This is a Steam game or on the consoles as
Xbox
well.
Live Arcade.
Yeah, PSN as well.
Yeah, they just recently fixed the co-op for multiplayer, so we figured we could give that a shot on the Let's Play.
Yeah, we really enjoyed the game when we first went through it, so give it a shot here. Did you get that invite?
Yeah, I got it loading in.
Alright.
I don't have any costumes anymore.
Oh no. Alright, I'm going to be playing Totek, and Soul's going to be playing Lara. And we found that was generally the best way to go, so... And without further ado, let's get into the game, and we'll shut up for the intro scene.
And now we start a loading screen. There's a lot of these in the game. They're pretty to look at, though. They did a good job of the art in this game.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of a pseudo cel-shaded
comic book style.
Comic book style, yeah, very comic.
Definitely a different change from all the other Tomb Raider games. They were all, even from the first one, they were all mostly 3D run around hunt shit. And this one's a lot. Well, it has action. It's a lot more focused on the platforming and whatnot.
According to Aztec myth, the region we call the Yucatan is
which is a good thing, because it came out as a very polished game for, you know, what essentially amounts to a small arcade game.
Yeah, we,
against the demonic forces of
well, let's let the video play here, and we'll...
Yeah.
It is written that
should we do this like Mystery Science Theater 3000 style, or just let the video play? Because I think it would be more entertaining. Like, you watch Escapist at all? Do like Unskippable?
Yeah.
Those are always amusing.
Himself survived. He found a way to turn the mirror's power back against the evil god.
This is not exactly what I would call quality writing here.
Am I the evilest god of them all? Apparently the answer was no, because he got locked up.
As for what happened to
he
has
this permeating stench about him.
Some say it was hidden in a secret place.
Visible permeating stench.
Those are always the worst kind, the visible ones.
Right.
It's that nothing.
Although they do say it's the silent ones that are the deadliest.
Right.
So yeah.
And here it is. After weeks of hiking through the treacherous Central American
So basically, in the first
jungle,
5 minutes of the game, in the intro video, we grab some super artifact, and you know, we're
going
gonna spend the rest of this game trying to undo what we've done. That's how most of these things work out in the end. As Squash said, not the best story writing, but it makes for good gameplay.
It's an excuse to dress up
years,
Lara and practically nothing,
not
and
without my help anyway.
Masquerade and parade around Central America.
Everyone loves a good MacGuffin anyways.
Or maybe he just doesn't believe it.
And you see what I mean about the permeating stench?
Yeah.
Solo, face me. You are not.
Yeah, like Soul said, it's very comic book-esque. I heard them talking about like moving comic books. Do you remember?
Motion pictures.
Yeah.
Motion comics, rather.
Motion comics.
They seem to be doing those a lot lately. For a lot of Dead Space has had a couple other video games coming out recently had a couple. Walking Dead had one when it came out. Definitely seems to be sort of a revival of that kind of stuff, which is cool.
There's a way to set this right.
Zolot must be
I don't know, that stuff, I'm not a big comic book person to begin with, but it always kind of seems like the 3D, you know, style. It's just kind of a fad that I can't wait for it to die.
It's definitely an art house feel to it.
Perhaps you should stand back.
There we go, we're less than 5 minutes in the game when we're already talking sexist.
Step away from that door, or this bomb is going to
It wouldn't be a Lara Croft game if it wasn't. Alright, now we actually see some actual in-game footage.
The in-game is nice. I was actually
for a small arcade game, it's got a good graphical engine.
This is riding the coattails of the whole 3D 2.5D.
Yeah, 2.5D because it's
what was it? Shadow Complex and Exploding.
Yeah,
and
that was a good one.
That was a fun one. I really like those. Supposedly Shadow Complex 2 is coming out here soon, so...
Yeah, I read that. I wish they'd come out with a Steam version of that, but, you know, I can't have everything, right?
Yeah, they would only make them more money. Alright, so right there, we just dropped what amounts to the mines you saw in the little cutscene.
Now, let's go and find your...
They also are vaguely shaped like nipples right now. Moving on. So basically this is the first level. Like most games, the first level is a tutorial that tries to teach you how to play the game. The first part was to show you how to use landmines, so we set 2 of them to blow up levers on a gate. And the game also these little cutscene things where it shows you how to use your weapon. In this case, it's just showing you how to shoot stuff. And most of the time, you just run around and hold left click, and that'll shoot things. But if you really care about standing still, you hold down tab and it'll aim. But you never really need to use that. Never had a reason to.
Yeah, it says use F. I've never ever used it.
It's there. It's yeah.
So the reason why we're rolling around there like idiots, collecting those what seem to be invisible points on the ground, you can see the little diamonds right here. As we walk over, we get points.
And from the more points you get, you see a little bar on the bottom underneath our character portrait that it's yellow. That'll fill up, and when that fills up, we get special abilities. We haven't unlocked any yet, but in our first playthrough of the game, we found some pretty nice ones. So what we're seeing here is a shield block. Each character has their own unique ability. Totek's unique ability is the shield. He can block projectiles and reflect certain ones back. So it works as a co-op option where Lara has a grappling hook, and that's her sort of unique thing. But Totek here can block with a shield. So this is teaching how to do that.
Blocks every damn thing in the game. It's very useful. Very.
Yeah, it doesn't even block your own landmines. Like that, for example.
Like that. Yep.
And we get a little zone out spot, and we'll move us on to the next part. And we see another cutscene.
2,000 years in this prison.
2,000 years without a shower. Jeez.
No wonder why he stinks.
God.
Man, I can smell that all the way through here.
Ugh.
Alright, so we're going to see our first little bit of combat here. Now, most of these guys are pretty weak. Kill them with one spear or a couple shots from the guns.
The really cool thing about Totek is his versatility. He's a very useful party member to have. This comes from the fact that he's got a shield that will block most things, projectiles, stuff like that. His spears, Lara, it'll stick into certain parts of the map, and he can use that. Lara can use that to jump up and get to higher level cliffs. And the last thing, as you can see right here, is the shield jump, which he'll literally hold the shield up like a platform, a mobile platform. So she can jump on top of it, he can move around, and then she can jump up there.
And then this is her special ability where she gets a grappling hook. She can use it to cross platform areas, or she can also use it to attach to Totek and then pull him up, or he can pull her up. In this case, I'm going to be pulling him up, so I'll go ahead and grapple him, and then he can just walk up the wall. And here we have a health fountain. These are scattered throughout the levels. There's not many of them, but you usually don't need a lot of health. So this will fill our health up slowly.
One of the things we did find is, as it says right there, it will dry up slowly and it will deplete. You usually get about 2.5 to 3 health bars worth of healing. And being this is a tutorial level, most of these little windows will pretty much cease to go. And this is the last useful technique that they have, and this is something that we skipped over the first time and ended up biting us in the ass later. You'll see what I mean when we get to it.
One of the cool little things they have is a lot of the traps and stuff. You can actually use your landmines to just completely disable the traps. Like there, we took out the arrows that were kind of a pain in the ass. So basically what we're doing over here is I'm going to grapple him over, and we're going to go collect a red skull. A lot of the extra unlockables in the game are gotten through gathering. There's usually 10 red skulls per level, and there's a lot of other unlockables. I'm going to go ahead and open up the objectives menu. You can see here you've got the basic objective at the top. You've got your time so far in the map in the middle. You've got each player's points on either side. You get bonuses based on how many points you get. That's on a per level basis. After you hit the 3rd tier of points, you get a special weapon unlock. And then for the various rewards, you can do all kinds of little achievement/unlockables to get various unlocks, and we'll show you once the inventory actually activates and whatnot. Then on the bottom, there's also miscellaneous power-ups you can earn.
Right. The bottom tells you what power-ups you've earned, and those little gray squares will have check marks depending on who's got the achievements or who's got the unlocks. The interesting thing is that the score challenges are independent of your team. However, the reward challenges go and carry on for both people. And this will actually carry on to your solo game and will stay with your account, so to speak, as you play. So that's
one of the interesting and kind of annoying things about the score thing is the score is tracked individually. So every time you die, you lose, what is it, like half or a quarter of your score or something?
Yeah.
So you don't want to die because you end up losing a lot of your score. But on the same hand, you know, sometimes you can't avoid it. But so you don't lose it all, but you could end up with like 3,000 points and then die and be back down to like 2,000 or something. So it's something you gotta be careful for, is not dying. Also, when you get your special meter charged, if you take any damage at all, it uncharges. So you tend to get good about avoiding hits a lot of the time, especially if you want to keep the power going.
The nice thing is that when you do have that bar, that little golden dragon bar there, and you can see right
Like
below
mine
our
just
health
filled
and
up
ammo, when that fills up, it will unlock the special part of your relic, which you'll see more about later. But they tend to be absurdly powerful.
Yeah, one of the ones we had at the end game, it gave us special weapons, like a scatter shot, infinite ammo, a bigger grenade. There's about, I think, 6 different combinations you can pick up, or 9. There's quite a bit of combinations you can get in your artifacts. And you're in the artifacts as unlockables and whatnot.
And those come as rewards for completing challenges on the map, completing point challenges, getting the skulls. They really, really reward you well for going out of your way to really collect all the little interesting parts and see all the little interesting parts of each map. And here's the spear jump I was telling you about before. And as you can see, it sticks into that wall.
Or I'm just going to sit here. There we go. I think she was attached onto the ledge or something. Alright, so he threw me some spears. I'm going to go ahead and jump onto those spears. And pick the red skull on there. And then I'm going to jump up. And then grapple back on over to Squash Dog over here. And then we'll go and pull him up. And so a lot of the puzzles are done this way. So, you have to work cooperatively to solve them. And you see this arrow here I just picked up. That's our first artifact. This will give our character certain power-ups. I believe this one gives me a bonus to weapon damage.
Yep.
So it'll actually pop us in here and we can equip it. So you see we have 2 artifact slots and 1 relic slot. So you can go in there, and we only have 1 unlocked right now. And then you've got 4 weapons you can choose from.
Right, so you can see this one gives us a +1 weapon damage and a -1 defense modifier, and that's essentially how much damage you could absorb. It's kind of like just saying +1 damage, -1 health, more or less.